The boat rocked gently on the lake's surface, but my heart pounded like a storm was brewing inside me. Clementine, my cousin, the one everyone called the perfect straight girl with her picket fence dreams, leaned in suddenly and pressed her lips against mine, her breath warm and tasting faintly of the mint gum she'd been chewing. I froze, the fishing rod slipping from my hands into the water. As the world tilted, not from the waves, but from the realization that this kiss, stolen in the isolation of our family fishing trip, would unravel everything we'd ever known. I pulled back, my mind reeling. "Clem, what the hell?" I whispered, my voice barely audible over the lapping water. She looked at me with wide eyes, her cheeks flushed, but there was no regret in her gaze. Only a desperate hunger that mirrored something I'd buried deep inside myself for years. "Clara, that's me, the family outlier. At 25, I'd come out as lesbian 2 years ago, facing the expected mix of awkward hugs and whispered judgments at family gatherings. But Clementine? She was 24, engaged to her high school sweetheart, Mark, the epitome of small-town American normalcy. Our families, rooted in conservative Midwest values, had always seen us as the inseparable cousins, Clara the artsy one, Clem the cheerleader type. That fishing trip was supposed to be a bonding ritual, a way to escape the mounting tensions at home. Instead, it became the spark that ignited a firestorm. As we rowed back to shore in silence, my thoughts swirled like the eddies in the water. Why did she do it? Was it curiosity, a fleeting impulse born from too many beers the night before? Or something more? Something she'd hidden even from herself? I couldn't shake the warmth of her lips, the way her hand had lingered on my arm. But guilt crashed over me. She was my cousin, for God's sake, and straight as an arrow. Or so I'd thought. The moral tangle gripped me. Family bonds weren't meant to twist like this. What if this was just her rebelling against her impending marriage? I felt like a traitor for even entertaining the spark it ignited in me. That evening, back at the cabin, the air thickened with unspoken words. Our families were there. My parents, her parents, aunts, uncles, all gathered for the annual retreat in rural Michigan. Laughter echoed from the porch as they grilled burgers, oblivious to the bomb ticking between us. Clementine avoided my eyes, fiddling with her engagement ring, twisting it like a noose. I retreated to the bedroom we shared, staring at the ceiling, my mind a battlefield. Part of me wanted to confront her, demand answers, but another part feared the truth. What if she felt nothing? What if she did? The societal weight pressed down. Lesbian relationships were already a minefield in our circle, but cousins? That crossed lines no one dared mention. Dinner was torture. "Pass the salad, Clara," my aunt said, her smile too bright. I nodded, my hand brushing Clementine's as I handed it over. She jerked back like I'd burned her. Inside I screamed. How could one kiss upend everything? My parents had barely accepted my sexuality, preaching tolerance while side-eyeing my dates. If they knew about this, it would be Armageddon. Clementine, the golden child, would fall from grace, and I'd be the villain who corrupted her. Later, when everyone else slept, she slipped into the room. "Clara, we need to talk," she whispered, sitting on the edge of my bed. Her voice trembled, and in the moonlight I saw tears glistening. "I don't know why I did it. Mark. He's safe, you know? But with you it's different. You're the only one who gets me." My heart ached. Gets her? We'd grown up sharing secrets, but this? This was forbidden territory. I wanted to push her away, tell her it was a mistake, but my body betrayed me, leaning closer. "Clem, this could destroy us," I said, my voice cracking. She nodded, but her hand found mine, squeezing tight. In that moment, the moral dilemma sharpened. Was pursuing this worth the fallout? The family we loved, the lives we'd built, all at risk for a feeling that might not even last. The next morning, the tension simmered. During breakfast, my uncle joked about Clementine's wedding plans, and she forced a laugh, her eyes darting to me. I excused myself, walking to the lake, my thoughts churning. Society's gaze loomed large. In America, where progress clashed with tradition, a lesbian cousin romance would invite scorn, whispers of incest, even if we weren't blood-related in that taboo way. Wait, we were cousins by blood. The ethics twisted my gut. Was love ever wrong if it felt right? But the damage. I imagined the family splintering, holidays ruined, friendships lost. Yet, denying it felt like suffocating my soul. As the day wore on, small confrontations built. Mark called, his voice booming through the phone. Clementine stepped outside, but I overheard her hesitant responses. When she returned pale-faced, she pulled me aside. He suspects something. I couldn't lie straight. Panic surged. What did you say? She shook her head. Nothing. But Clara, I can't stop thinking about yesterday. Her confession hung heavy. A betrayal to her fiancé, to our family code. I felt the weight of choice. Encourage her to explore? Or shut it down to preserve peace? The drama escalated in my mind. One path led to passion, the other to regret. By evening, the first crack appeared. At the bonfire, my mom noticed our distance. You two fighting? She asked. We mumbled denials, but the seed was planted. Inside, I battled. Clementine's kiss had awakened desires I'd suppressed, but at what cost? The societal pressure, the family expectations, they demanded conformity. Yet her vulnerability called to me, a mirror of my own struggles. As the fire crackled, I decided we had to face this head-on, no matter the pain. The drive home from the cabin was a silent war zone. Clementine gripping the wheel while I stared out the window at the blurring Michigan countryside. Her kiss lingered like a ghost, haunting every mile, and I couldn't ignore the storm brewing in my chest anymore. When we stopped for gas, she turned to me, her blue eyes pleading. Clara, say something. Anything. I exploded. What do you want me to say, Clem? That it's okay? That we can just pretend it didn't happen? My voice rose, drawing stares from nearby pumps. She flinched, but I pressed on. You're engaged. To a guy. And I'm me. This isn't some rom-com. This is our lives. The words tasted bitter, laced with the fear of losing her. Not just as a lover, but as family. She parked the car abruptly in a rest area, tears streaming. I know it's messed up. But Clara, I've felt this for years. Watching you come out, be so brave. It made me question everything. Her admission hit like a punch. Years. While I navigated the isolation of being the only gay in our family, she'd been hiding too. The betrayal stung. Why hadn't she said anything? But deeper, it resonated. My own coming out had been a battlefield. Parents' disappointed sighs, relatives' Bible quotes about sin. Now imagining Clem facing that amplified the moral quandary. Was I selfish for wanting her, knowing the societal backlash? Back on the road, my thoughts delved inward. Society's script was clear. Straight marriage, kids, stability. Deviate, and you're the disruptor. As a lesbian, I'd armored myself against judgment, but pulling Clem into this felt like dragging her into quicksand. What if she regretted it? What if I did? The family dynamics shifted in my mind. Our close-knit clan, with its Sunday dinners and holiday traditions, would fracture. Aunts gossiping, uncles disowning. The price of authenticity seemed exorbitant. Arriving home in suburban Detroit, reality crashed down. Mark was waiting at Clem's apartment, flowers in hand. She hesitated at the door, glancing back at me. Come in for a bit? She asked, but it was a plea. Inside, the air was thick. Mark hugged her, then nodded at me coolly. How was the trip? Innocuous words, but his eyes searched. Clem stammered about fishing, but I saw the crack in her facade. Later, alone in the kitchen, she whispered, I can't do this to him. My heart twisted. Then don't, I said, but it felt like lying to myself. That night, I lay awake in my own bed across town, replaying every moment. The kiss wasn't just physical, it was a revelation. Clem's straight facade had been my anchor, proof that family could accept differences without crossing into chaos. Now it crumbled. Inner conflict raged. Pursue her and risk alienation, or step back and watch her marry into misery. Ethics screamed family first, but my soul whispered otherwise. The next day, confrontation escalated. I met Clem for coffee, her engagement ring glaring under the fluorescent lights. We need to decide, I said. She nodded, biting her lip. Mark proposed because it's what's expected. But with you, it's real. Her words ignited hope, but doubt shadowed it. Real enough to blow up everything? She reached for my hand across the table. A public gesture that made my pulse race. What if someone saw? In America, where LGBTQ rights advanced but prejudice lingered, especially in our conservative pockets, this could invite hate. As we talked, layers peeled back. Clem confessed her internal struggle. Years of denying attractions to women, burying them under societal norms. I thought marrying Mark would fix it, she said, voice breaking. I empathized deeply. My own journey had been similar, minus the engagement. But the maw of family pressure gaped wide. Our parents, siblings, they'd see this as a perversion, not love. The damage? Holidays boycotted, relationships severed. Yet in that cafe, a decision formed. Let's try, she whispered. Elation surged, but so did terror. That evening she told Mark. I wasn't there, but her call came late, sobbing. He accused me of cheating. Said I was confused. The betrayal hit him hard. Years invested now shattered. Guilt gnawed at me. Was I the catalyst for his pain? Moral lines blurred. Love's pursuit demanded sacrifices, but whose? Family whispers started soon after. My aunt called, probing. Clem broke off the engagement? What's going on? I deflected, but the net tightened. Inside I questioned, is love worth this wreckage? Clem moved in temporarily, our proximity intensifying the drama. Stolen glances, tentative touches, but always shadowed by fear. One night, arguing in hushed tones, she said, maybe we should stop. My response, can you? The tension built, a powder keg. Social ripples spread. Friends distanced themselves, labeling us weird. At work, I faced sideways glances, rumors swirling. The psychological toll mounted, anxiety attacks, sleepless nights. Clem's parents confronted her, demanding explanations. Is this because of Clara? They accused. The finger-pointing began, me as the influencer, her as the victim. Inner monologues haunted. Am I ruining her life? Or saving it? As weeks passed, the first major fallout hit. A family dinner turned explosive. Uncle Joe, beer in hand, blurted, heard Clem dumped Mark. Any truth to the gossip? Silence fell. Clem's face paled. I stepped in. It's her choice. But the dam broke. Accusations flew about influence, about unnatural bonds. My mom pulled me aside, tears in her eyes. Clara, if this is what I think, how could you? The hurt in her voice pierced. We'd crossed into irreparable territory. The fallout from that dinner lingered like a bad hangover, poisoning every interaction. Clementine and I holed up in my apartment. The outside world a minefield of judgments. Her parents' calls went unanswered, but the voicemails piled up, pleading then angry. Come home, Clem. We can fix this, her mom said in one, her voice laced with desperation. Inside, Clem paced, her mind a whirlwind. What if they're right? What if I'm just confused? I sat on the couch, watching her, my own doubts mirroring hers. Confused? Or scared? I challenged. The psychological drama intensified. Every day brought new battles. Society's mirror reflected our relationship as taboo. Not just lesbian, but familial. Online forums I'd scrolled through anonymously debated similar stories, calling them incest-light. The label stuck in my throat. Were we wrong? Morally, ethically? The lines society drew felt arbitrary, yet crossing them exacted a toll. Clem's ex, Mark, escalated things. He showed up unannounced, banging on the door. I need to talk to her, he shouted. I opened it a crack, but Clem pushed past. Mark, it's over. His face contorted in rage. Because of her? Your cousin. The accusation hung, raw and ugly. He stormed off, but not before hurling slurs that echoed in the hallway. Neighbors peeked out, adding to the social isolation. Inside, Clem collapsed sobbing. I hurt him so bad. Guilt consumed her, and me too. Had my feelings enabled this destruction? As days blurred, inner conflicts deepened. I questioned my role. Savior or seducer? Clem's straight identity had been her shield. Stripping it away exposed vulnerabilities. Family pressure mounted. My dad emailed. Think about what you're doing to everyone. The implication. My sexuality was contagious, a threat. It revived old wounds from my coming out. The lectures on choosing differently. Now amplified with Clem, it felt like war. A turning point came midweek. Clem's sister, our cousin Anna, called a meeting. Neutral ground, a park bench in Detroit. Anna, ever the mediator, looked between us. This is tearing the family apart. Mom and Dad are devastated. Clem teared up. I love her, Anna. The words spoken aloud shocked even me. Anna recoiled. Love. Your cousins. Society won't accept this. The confrontation stung, highlighting the divide. Personal truth versus collective harmony. Walking away, Clem gripped my hand. I meant it, she whispered. Elation mixed with dread. But the cost loomed, Anna's warning of disownment. That night, we argued fiercely. Maybe we should end it, Clem said, echoing my fears. For them. My response. And betray ourselves? The drama peaked, decisions hanging by threads. Social repercussions hit harder. At my job, a graphic design firm, colleagues whispered. Heard about your situation. Professionalism cracked, projects suffered. Clem lost friends, her social circle shrinking to me. Isolation bred dependency, but also resentment. This is all because of that kiss, she muttered one evening. Blame shifted, tensions rising. Family intervention escalated. A surprise visit from both sets of parents. They barged in, faces stern. We need to talk, my uncle said. The room thickened with accusation. Clara, you've influenced her, my aunt accused. Clem defended. No, it's me. I chose this. But their disbelief fueled the fire. Bible verses were quoted, tears shed. Think of the children, they pleaded, as if our love poisoned futures. I stood firm, but inside crumbled. The moral weight. Were we selfish? The damage evident. Strained marriages, sibling rifts. As they left, ultimatum delivered. Choose family or this. Clem's face paled. Alone, she whispered. What now? My heart raced. The choice loomed a precipice. Weeks later, a betrayal struck. Clem met Mark secretly, seeking closure. But he twisted it, telling family she was coming around. Rumors flew. Clem's back with Mark. Hurt exploded. Why? I demanded. She cried. I needed to explain. But he lied. Trust fractured, the first real crack in us. Repairing it took nights of raw talks. I'm scared, Clara. Of losing everything. I nodded, sharing my fears. The psychological depth revealed. Her internal battle against ingrained heteronormativity, mine against familial loyalty. Society's lens magnified flaws. We weren't just lesbians but those cousins. High drama unfolded at a cousin's wedding. Invited separately, we attended. Tension electric. Whispers followed us. During toasts, Uncle Joe glared. Clem and I stole moments, but Mark's presence ignited jealousy. He cornered her. Come back. She refused, but the scene drew eyes. Family confronted post-ceremony. This ends now. We left together, defiant. But the drive home was silent warfare. Is it worth it? Clem asked. My answer? You tell me. The question hung, unresolved. As months crept, awakening dawned. Clem sought therapy, unpacking suppressed desires. I joined, facing my enabling. Insights emerged. Love defied boxes, but respect for boundaries mattered. Yet societal pushback persisted. Lost invitations, cold shoulders. One evening, Clem declared, I'm all in. Hope reignited, but shadowed by ongoing costs. Family splintered further. Some reached out tentatively, others cut ties. The price, emotional scars but growth too. The splintering of our family became a chasm, with Clementine and me on one side, the rest peering over with disapproval. Therapy sessions peeled back layers, but real life offered no reprieve. Clem's job at the marketing firm suffered. Whispers of her lifestyle change led to sideline projects. They think I'm unstable, she confided, her voice laced with defeat. Inside I raged. Society's double standard. Straight affairs forgiven but our love? Condemned. My own world contracted. Friends I'd confided in pulled away, citing complications. Isolation deepened our bond, but bred codependency. Nights brought introspection. Was this freedom or a gilded cage? The moral debate intensified. Pursuing happiness at others' expense felt egoistic. Yet suppressing it was self-betrayal. A major confrontation loomed, Thanksgiving. Traditionally hosted by Clem's parents, we were uninvited. Too divisive, the email read. Hurt sliced deep. Clem stared at her phone, tears falling. They chose tradition over me. I held her, but guilt gnawed. My presence amplified the rift. What if I'd rejected the kiss? Alternate paths haunted. We hosted our own dinner, inviting accepting outliers, a few cousins, my progressive aunt. Laughter filled the air, but absences echoed. Toasts turned poignant. To new beginnings. Yet Clem's eyes betrayed longing for the old. Post-dinner she confessed. I miss them. The admission cracked my resolve. Go see them. I urged, fearing loss. She did alone. Hours later she returned shattered. They want me back without you. Ultimatum renewed. The betrayal stung. Family leveraging love as weapon. Inner turmoil peaked. Fight or fold. Clem paced. Part of me wants normalcy. Her words pierced. Was I abnormalcy's face? Drama escalated with external pressure. Local news caught wind via Mark's bitter posts online. Anonymous but traceable. Headlines. Family torn by forbidden romance. Exaggerated, but damaging. Calls flooded, judgments poured. Society's court convicted us without trial. At work, I faced HR. Personal matters affecting performance. The toll. Anxiety meds, therapy doubled. In a heated argument, Clem snapped. Maybe we rushed. Doubt seeped. Rushed? Or real? I countered. Tears flowed. Reconciliations followed, but scars lingered. The psychological strain. Her unlearning heteronormativity, my battling perceived corruption. A turning point. Clem's mom reached out secretly. Coffee neutral spot. I waited anxiously. Clem returned hopeful. She listened. Tentative bridge but fragile. She asked about you, Clem said. Emotions surged, perhaps change possible. But backlash followed. Uncle Joe disowned publicly via family chat. No place for this. Relatives sided, fracturing further. Clem's sister Anna mediated again. Give time. But time healed nothing, wounds festered. Personal sacrifices mounted. Clem sold her engagement ring for therapy costs, symbolic purge but painful. I quit a family-linked freelance gig, severing ties. Losses accumulated. Traditions support networks. One night vulnerability peaked. Do you regret? I asked. Clem shook her head. Only the pain. Her resolve strengthened mine. Yet societal echoes whispered doubt. High tension at a reunion attempt. Neutral venue mediated. Accusations flew. Clara manipulated. Defenses rose. Love isn't manipulation. Tears, shouts, catharsis but no resolution. Walking out, Clem gripped me. We're our family now. Awakening deepened. Clem advocated online anonymously, finding community. I joined, sharing stories. Empowerment bloomed amid adversity. But a betrayal blindsided. Mark sued for emotional distress. Frivolous but harassing. Legal fees drained. Stress soared. Why? Clem cried. Revenge pure. Court dates loomed, amplifying drama. Family split. Some supported quietly, others condemned. Moral quandaries sharpened. Forgiveness or fight? As trial neared, Clem wavered. Maybe settle. I pushed. No, stand. The decision. Battle on. Victory came. Case dismissed. Relief but exhaustion. Post-win, Clem proposed informally. Forever? Hope flickered. Yet costs lingered. Family reconciliation slow. Some bridges burned eternal. The courtroom victory felt pyrrhic. The judge's gavel echoing like a hollow triumph amid the ruins of our lives. Clementine and I emerged into the Detroit sunlight. Hands clasped, but the weight of accumulated damages pressed down. Mark's lawsuit had been the culmination of months of harassment. A desperate bid to reclaim control. But dismissing it didn't erase the emotional wreckage. The therapy bills, the lost sleep, the fractured trust. Back home, we collapsed on the couch, silence heavy. We won, Clem said, but her voice lacked conviction. Inside I pondered the true cost. Not dollars but souls. Family gatherings were ghosts now. Holidays spent with chosen kin, not blood. My parents' tentative acceptance had regressed. Calls rare, laced with caution. Clem's folks? Radio silent, save occasional pleas for normalcy. Inner reflections dominated. Had the kiss been worth it? Love blossomed, yes, deep, authentic, but shadowed by sacrifices. Clem's career stalled. Mine pivoted to remote work, avoiding judgmental eyes. Social circles? Pruned to allies. The psychological drama persisted. Moments of joy pierced by regret spikes. A food truck festival offered respite. Amid crowds, we held hands publicly, defying stares. But a familiar face, Anna, approached. Can we talk? Tentative truce. Over tacos, she shared. Mom misses you, Clem. Hope stirred, but guarded. And Clara? Clem asked. Anna hesitated. It's hard. The divide remained, mending slow. Drama reignited with an anonymous letter. Abomination. Hate mail, societal bile spilling over. Clem trembled reading it. YS. Rage boiled. I reported it, but damage done. Vulnerability exposed. In progressive America, pockets of bigotry thrived. Therapy unearthed more. Clem admitted. I traded security for truth. Her straight life had been facade, now authenticity's price steep. I echoed. Me too. Mutual understanding deepened bond, but questioned sustainability. Family olive branch. Christmas invite conditional. No displays. We debated. Attend or abstain. Go, I urged Clem. For you. She went alone, returning conflicted. They acted normal but ignored us. The pretense hurt worse than absence. Personal growth emerged. Clem volunteered at LGBTQ centers, channeling pain. I wrote anonymously, processing. Awakening. Love's validity transcended labels, but societal friction real. Yet tension simmered. An argument erupted. Sometimes I wonder if we'd be happier apart. Clem's words gutted. Happier? Or safer? Reconciliation followed, but seeds of doubt planted. Climax built with a family crisis. Uncle Joe's health scare. Hospital vigil united, awkwardly. Whispers hushed, priorities shifted. Clem and I supported, presence tolerated. Post-recovery thaw. Thanks for coming, he grumbled. Small win, but meaningful. As year turned, reflections crystallized. Damages tallied. Lost relationships, emotional scars. Gains. Profound love, self-acceptance. The balance? Debatable. In quiet moments, Clem mused. Was it right? Echoing my thoughts. Society's judgment lingered, but our resilience grew. One evening, watching stars from the balcony, she said, I'd choose you again. Affirmation warmed, but the journey's toll undeniable. The story of us, from that fateful kiss to fractured family, begged introspection. Choices made, prices paid. Was betraying family expectations ever justifiable for personal truth?